All right, everybody. Welcome to the Hobby CNC with Dave show. I think we'll have a pretty good discussion tonight. One of my panel members tonight came up with the idea for this topic, so we're going to try that out, see how it works. I think it'll be good. Let me bring in the rest of the crew here. There's my buddy Wolfman. How you doing?
Slightly less woofy today.
Yeah. It looks like you got your ears lowered or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was just about to say the exact same thing. That's funny.
Okay, we got Cody, of course. They're sponsor of our giveaway, Cadence Manufacturing. Rob Schuster's with us, and my old buddy, Russ Meadows, is joining us tonight. How you doing, Russ?
All right. Long time no see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, like I said, the topic for tonight was suggested to me by Mr. Schuster, and he sent me an email and was, saying this might be a good show topic, and it was, what are you using your CNC for, and what are your goals for your CNC? So, Rob, since you came up with that idea, I thought I would let you go first and kind of tell everybody what made you think of that.
Okay. This is probably 3-4 weeks ago. I watched a video by Izzy Swan on something about making $1 million with a CNC machine, which, it wasn't clickbait, but he didn't mention expenses either, so I don't think you can really make $1 million. But gross, you could, I guess.
Yeah.
And that same weekend,
I'm on my second million. I've already given up on that first.
I know you never say how many Gattons you've made, but maybe it's a bigger number than I thought.
No, I just give up on that first million. I'm on my second million.
And then that same weekend I watched that, I went to a maker meetup up in Phoenix, and there were not a lot of people. There's probably 30 people there, but it was more of a marketing event for woodworkers, not what I call a maker. So I got to thinking, I guess my definition of a maker is different than what these guys' definition of a maker was. The one guy had, a 5x10 machine. I don't remember what brand it was now, but it was a good machine, $10,000 plus machine. I was really impressed. I was going to ask him questions about it, and he uses it to flatten slabs, and that's it. And wow. I kept thinking, man, you've got this great machine. You can do all these complex, great things, and it's a business for him, and it makes him a lot of money, so he was happy. But I kind of realized then that my goals and a lot of other people's goals are different for CNC, and I make stuff because I want to make it. I rarely make the same thing twice. No deadlines. It's a hobby, purely a hobby. I am trying to sell drums now, I guess, a little bit, but not hard. And again, I make what I want to make. I'm not trying to make a production line for drums, but
yeah, but you make those awesome looking drums because you want to make drums.
Exactly.
It's not the sales that's driving you getting out there and making.
Yeah. So that's kind of my thoughts. We talked about it a little bit after the show a few weeks ago, or 3-4 weeks ago, whenever it was. And I guess, yeah, my goals are to have fun, and I have no aspirations to quit my day job. It is a hobby. No deadlines, no pressure. I don't want to make it a business. I've done that before with hobbies, and I didn't like the hobby anymore then. So
yeah, it's no fun when it becomes a job.
Exactly. And you're the exact opposite. You make a lot of Gattons with your CNC. That's probably the main thing you do. So we're about opposite ends of the spectrum yet.
Yeah, I very, very seldom. Well, yeah, I very seldom run a project, I guess. And when I do, it's usually for me. I was telling somebody the other day, they didn't quite understand what my neighbor lady, she says, I know you've told me, but I still don't understand what you do. And I tried to explain it to her, and I told her, I said, if somebody says, oh, you have a CNC, well, would you make me, and they, as soon as they start, I just stop them right there and go, no, I can refer you to hundreds and thousands of people that have CNCs that might do the work for you. I says, but no, I'm not interested in, doing little projects for anybody else. Let me get pause here a minute. Get Paul squeezed in here. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
Hello,
Hello,
Paul.
everybody.
Hey.
Oh,
Well,
We were
Dave,
just,
I have to interrupt you for a second.
Sure.
So you're no longer a CNC person. You're an influencer.
What's the difference? Wait a minute? Does an influencer still have to do the
You're a
sanding
YouTube
and all
person.
that
You're
dirty
an
work that I have to
influencer.
do? Because I don't know about all that. But
Influencers make much more money than he does.
yeah. But all right, so let's switch to Russ there. Russ, what about you? What do you think about what are you using your CNC for, and what are your goals for your CNC? I know you sell a few things, don't you?
I sell a few things here and there, but it's really not a main focus for me. I do a lot of 3D work, and naturally, since I do a lot of 3D work, I don't get a whole lot of sales. But when I do, I'm happy with it, and but that's what I like doing. I like doing the 3D work, and signs are where the money's at. But that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
to
Now
me.
that Izzy Swan video that Rob mentioned just a
Mhm.
few minutes ago, I went and watched that because Rob mentioned it, not because of the clickbait, but that's one of the things he says in that video, if I'm not mistaken, that if you think you're gonna
Yeah.
do it with 3D carving, forget it.
You're not.
That's strict. That should be strictly a hobby thing. But you've managed to sell a few of them.
I sell a few, and I put it out in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in, local community groups and things like that. Sell a few things that way. It's enough to keep me. Well, it was enough to keep me able to buy wood. Now that the price has gone up, it's a little bit more difficult. But I have fun
switch
with it.
things around here and get. I might as well get the. There we go.
Oh, wait a minute! Don't put me big, man.
Hey, you're representing tonight. I got.
I guess I am, huh?
Yeah.
The red-headed stepchild. Well, I said the orange-headed stepchild. Yeah, but 3D stuff is my main deal, and believe it or not, I've got a ton of 3D models. I've got over 3,000 of those, and I've got quite over 1,000 of scroll saw patterns that I've got that I've made up a ton of those, modeled them up to be, and I should have modeled this last scroll saw pattern I did and did it with the CNC. It would have been a lot faster than doing it by hand with the scroll saw. But either way, it would have come out just as good.
Yeah. Well, just getting back to thinking about what Izzy said in that video about forget the 3D stuff. It would really work out okay if you're in your shop and you've got to think, because you don't have to stand there and watch it.
No,
So what if you're over there scrolling the whole time it's running at 3D? As long as you're doing something else, it's still
it's cost effective, I guess that would be.
yeah. Now I know it is difficult to get a good.
Effective.
Yeah, I know it's difficult to get a good price for them because they do take so long. But still, and really that's true with no matter what you're running.
Yeah.
Whatever you're running on your CNC, if you're trying to make a little money at it, you should be sanding what you just pulled off of it, or
Exactly.
doing something else besides just standing
Right.
there.
Well, the good part with mine is that the CNC is right here, the scroll saw is right here. I don't have to go far I could keep an eye on it while I'm doing my thing on the scroll saw and stuff. But like Rob was saying, he didn't want to take a hobby and make it a business, and I've quit my day job 3 years ago when I retired, And this is what I do for fun. It's fun for me. I've never been one, as far as the YouTube videos and things like that. I've only got the one on there for about 5 years ago. One of these days I'll make another one. But it's not my thing to go and try to be a YouTube star. I don't care about all that. I just like having fun doing what I'm doing. There's quite a few out there like me, but then there's some that want to make that million, like Izzy said. I saw that same video. There's a lot of them that like to make that million, but that's a lot of work.
Say hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi.
Go inside.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pick on Izzy, but there are a lot of videos out there with those similar clickbaity titles, make
Yeah.
10,000 a week and all that stuff, and I'm like, yeah,
Oh man,
you're trying to tell people that, but you're not doing it.
No, I've seen many of them.
Yeah.
That use that same kind of catch-all to try to get you to click on it.
Oh yeah. They're all over these days.
Yeah.
But all right, well let's switch gears and drop down here to Paul. Paul, what do you use your CNC for?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm about $1 short of making my first dollar on it. And so far, I use it for learning how to use it. That's all I've done. I play around with it, making little boxes, and I play around with it, making a couple signs, but that's as far as I've gotten with it. I'm still a learner on it.
Okay, well,
But at least I've gotten to the point where I don't break as many bits.
There you go.
Hey, we know a guy up in that other corner.
Yeah.
All right. And
I'm
Ryan,
still-
I know you've made a few beach signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I make stuff that I want to make, and sometimes I get to sell them, sometimes I don't. I tend to make a lot of wedding signs because it's easier than going shopping. But yeah, I mean, I like making money with my CNC. It's not my priority though. It's more for having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty, Cody. What about you? What do you use your CNC for?
Well, so I'm kind of like you. I don't like doing signs for people because I hate sanding, I hate painting, I hate staining. I've done enough of it. I just don't want to do it. So I do a lot of production work for people. So I've been fortunate enough to partner up with a couple companies, and I'll just make hundreds and hundreds of wood pieces for them, and just load up my machine, just let that dog eat, and yeah, it's nice. So I do a lot of that, and then I do a lot of laser work too. So I'll do custom whiskey bottles for people or whatever needs to be done. But that's a lot of the stuff that I'm doing mainly on my machines right now. It's just production work for other companies and rocking the laser. So
Okay. All right.
So are you etching on glass, you're saying? With laser?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
matter of fact, here's a bottle right here. I don't know if you can see it, but
Let me hold on
Yeah,
a second,
kind of,
Cody. Let
yeah.
me get you.
light might not be very.
Yeah, you can see it when you hold it just right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of, there's a lot of glare in here, but I just got a 4th axis rotary on my laser, and I just throw this on there, and it's neat. The company that I do it for, they have a full website, and so it's usually for weddings. So a lot of these are personalized for people's weddings. So it'll say, Jack and Jill's wedding 2022 October, and then whatever font that's on there. So it's a lot of that kind of stuff.
It wasn't glass, but I did a wine bottle out of wood for my daughter's wedding and put the date and all that stuff and whatever. I don't remember what I said on there. Yeah, but she loves it. Of course, they have a little wine bar at their house, so
That's
it ties
cool.
in. It's on display full time, so that's cool. That's when you enjoy making stuff. Somebody actually displays it and likes it. So
So it's funny though, because I used to drink way back in the day, but I don't drink at all now. Like I'm 100% alcohol free, but all of my job, like all of my production stuff, it's all for whiskey paraphernalia. So like I make all these whiskey cubes out of reclaimed whiskey barrel wood. I'm making whiskey bottles on the laser, like lasering all of them. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of ironic. Like, so that and the 1911 grips. I do a ton of 1911 grips for people.
Oh yeah,
I want to try that.
Those are popular.
I'm looking forward to giving those a whirl.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's like watching a campfire. You know, you just load it up and let it go, and because it's not a super long program. You know what I mean? So I'm not standing there for 5 hours. It might only take 11 minutes to run one full set. So it's nice being able to see the 3D work in a short time span. You know what I mean? So I enjoy doing it. I made a fixture that makes about 5 sets at a time.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to ask you, since you was talking about the short cycle time, if you have a fixture that runs more than one set at a time.
I do. I built a fixture that holds 5 sets, so I can make, you know, basically 10 pieces at once. But I made my fixture big enough to where I can scale it. So the front half of the fixture has the 5 sets, but I made it big enough to where I can duplicate the same thing right behind it. So eventually I can make it to where I can get 10 sets every time I hit go.
I'd like
Okay.
to see that. You got a video of that? I'd like to see
You
that.
know, I've shared some videos, yeah, absolutely, on Facebook.
Okay.
Well, I think I just shared one, and I did some Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Okay. Well, speaking of videos, before we get too far into the show tonight, I want to make sure I remind everybody, because I know probably they haven't forgotten that we're going to be doing the giveaway tonight. So I want to let them know about the what we're going to be giving away and what the hashtag is. They can go ahead and be putting it in. I'll do that first. We're going to be giving away one of the downtown Jennies. So you'll want to put hashtag downtown in the chat somewhere, and then I'll be using. I got the giveaway tool already set up, so it's going to start collecting them now, and then towards the end of the show, we'll fire that thing up and pick us a winner. But
Well, I got a question on
and
that.
just so you don't, any of you that might not know, it's Cody that's up here in the upper right hand corner here is Cadence Manufacturing and Design, and he is the sponsor of our weekly giveaway for the router bit. So thank you very much, Cody.
I am
Appreciate that. And I'll be flashing this back up there again in a little bit. And let me show you the awesome little video clip we got here. It's a thing of beauty, I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. I got a question, Dave.
All righty.
Nothing that I type in the YouTube chat comes over to the chat over here.
To StreamYard,
Yeah,
it won't.
it won't.
If you type it in the, can you type it in the StreamYard chat?
Can I type it in the StreamYard chat?
I'm trying to remember.
Do you have private chat selected or comments selected on YouTube on StreamYard?
Well, it shows live, and I can't. And the comments is blue. So let me look at the.
You're banned.
I'm in private chat.
Because I'm trying to see. I don't.
There you go. Yeah,
I can't
private.
remember if I know me and Ryan can post comments through. If you put one on StreamYard, it should pick it up on YouTube, but it's not going to go the other way. If you type it in on YouTube, it's not going to show up over.
Okay.
Well, no, wait a minute. Yeah, it should too.
It should.
Up on
Mine,
I put test 2 on there. It doesn't have my name on it, but on the private chat.
Okay.
but it
I don't
doesn't
know.
show up on YouTube.
If you put hashtag downtown in there, you're entered in the
Does
giveaway.
it pick it up off the YouTube chat or the StreamYard chat?
The YouTube chat.
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that too then. I was just wondering how, because I type stuff in there and it doesn't show up on the StreamYard side, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the same for me too. I can only chat in the private chat, but I just have YouTube open another window on my other screen.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how I
Okay.
just said hello.
All right.
Just make sure you mute.
But see, it's working because there's Cody's.
Yeah, but
Well, that was through YouTube. So I have YouTube on another
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, but that's what he was first asking. I think if you put it in at YouTube, will it show up over here in StreamYard?
it
And
don't.
It should
doesn't for
feed
me.
all the comments over here. Well, I guess it just doesn't like you, Russ.
I know it. I'm having a complex behind it.
Oh,
Uh,
are you?
I just
Well, if you want, Russ, if you can't get your hashtag in there, I'll put hashtag downtown, and if I win, I'll just send it to you. How does that sound?
I just put it in the YouTube chat. I'm just waiting to see if it comes over.
Okay. Yeah. See, there's Paul. It's working for everybody else.
Yeah, let me see where I came in at. I'm ahead of Dan Goris, and in between him and Dwayne.
Okay. Yeah. It's not.
Nah,
it's
not getting me.
picking
That's
it
where I
up.
would be.
I
I
don't
think
know
Dave
what.
don't like me anymore.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Russ is on mute.
Yeah,
He's been canceled.
I guess.
Let me see. Let me see if I got you blocked somewhere. I'll
might.
check.
You
I'll
might.
check
Oh, by
that
the
later.
way-
I wouldn't think so, but
By the way, Juan Lopez is out there.
I
in
saw.
the chat.
I saw him. There he is,
It's
right
been a long
there.
time.
Yeah, he used to be.
All he does is ride that motorcycle now. He don't
One of
have
the old
time for nothing
timers
else.
when we used to do the old Google Hangouts.
Mark
We'll
says
have
I've
to
been
we'll have to
blocked.
have him on. We'll get the band back together.
Yeah, it'd be cool. You have to catch him on that motorcycle though. He don't get off and do anything else anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a
All right. Well, we got a bunch of folks getting their entries in.
Hey, Russ, I'm going to put in hashtag downtown for you. And if I win,
Okay.
it's yours.
I appreciate it, but it just I found it curious. Mark said I've been blocked. I might have been.
I'll have to check. I will have to check. I
I
wouldn't
tell
think.
you, I didn't do anything to
You
you,
get
man.
mouthy, Russ.
That's what it was, mouthy.
One other thing I want to mention too before we carry on in our conversation here is next week, and I don't know if there's any ladies out there watching tonight, but next week we're going to be doing a show, what I'm going to call Ladies Night. I kind of threw it out there a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't sure if I'd get any response or not, but we always have, and like I said, nothing against you guys. I love y'all. But we always have a bunch of guys on here. And I thought, I know there are lady CNCers because I see, social media posts and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They're out there and they're doing stuff. But so I put it out there and I was really surprised because within just a few minutes, I had like four of them contact me and say, hey, yeah, it's about time you did something like that. So hopefully we're going to get the ladies CNC view of things next week. So if you're a lady CNCer out there in the chat tonight and are just now hearing about this and would like to come on and be on the panel to talk about CNC stuff, just send me an email. You can go to my website, davegatton.com or whatever, and click the email link, and we'll get you on here. All right, so getting back to the CNC thing, there are a lot of videos. Yeah, good point, Clyde. Good point. There are a lot of videos that I've seen where people get these, big old 5x10 really nice machines, and like Rob said, what are they doing? They slabbing. And I'm like, that's an awful expensive, machine to use just to go back and forth. It seems like they could have, I don't know. I guess they don't really make a machine that's just like that going back and forth.
Well,
but,
it's easier to use that than a routing table.
Yeah, they'd
Routing
have to have somebody push that.
Yeah, that's too much work.
But
I've seen those flattening sleds before. It's manual; it's not automatic. Those
Right.
were, I think, okay, but you have to run it. I guess you want something automatic. You need to.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can see why they use them. I've used not for doing big slabs, but I've used it for flattening. When I glue up a piece or something, and it's how it is when you glue it up and clamp it, it never comes out exactly right, and then I'll throw it on there and just run it back and forth a few thou to clean it up a little. But
I do the same thing. I don't have a planer or a thickness planer, so if I have to, I use a CNC. It's not the best thing for that job, but if it's the only thing you got, it works.
Yep. All right. Looks like Wolfman's got a couple of questions over here, so we'll knock those out here. 3D Buckeye says, Cody, what program do you use to configure your laser jobs?
Yeah, I'm using Lightburn. It's a super awesome, simple program, and it's cheap too. Yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It works well.
And that works with the rotary thing too, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. So on my laser, you could even buy a camera that goes on the inside of your laser. So it'll not only do like the 4th axis rotary, but you can hook up a camera to it, so you have a live shot of exactly, you can put in your material, and then you can lay your geometry over the top of a picture, so you can see exactly where it's going to laser before you laser it. So it's neat stuff like that you can do with Lightburn. It's pretty cool.
And that's a dedicated laser, not an attachment on a CNC.
Yeah, this is a standalone. I got a Thunder laser.
Oh, okay.
I'd show you, but it's on this side of my command center. I got a big laser over there, and yeah, it's fun.
Okay. All right. Another question we have here is David Pingle asks, Cody, is the Groovy Jenny coming in soon?
It is. So I got an email notification. They said they were about 10 business days out a few days ago. So what I'm going to do this time around is 1 week before I can actually deliver them, I'm going to open up pre-orders again. So I'm really hoping that in about a week I can open up pre-orders. I have about 300 of them being made right now, so hopefully that'll be enough. So
Okay. Yeah,
Do you have-
I got to jump on those this time.
Do you have a 60 degree coming out soon?
Yeah,
I use
so-
60 all the time, not 90. So that's what I'm looking for or waiting for.
I do. So in addition to the bits that are going to be coming out, I should be getting my 60-degree beta test next week too. So I'm really hoping for that. As soon as I get it, it's not going to be coded or anything, because I'm just going to make sure that the tool geometry cuts well and like it's supposed to. But I'll take some pictures of it and share it on Facebook for everybody. But I've had a lot of engagement and a lot of email correspondence about a 60 degree.
Yeah, Jerry says every time he looks the
Yeah.
Groovy Jenny's been sold out. They don't last long. That's it. They're hot, man. Gotta get them while they got them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a total blessing, man. It's been a lot of fun. And I love sharing it with the community. That's what I probably like the most, is just kind of thinking outside the box and trying things that people say you probably shouldn't try. And it's just like, I don't know. It's a blast.
Mm-hmm. I was just before we went live, Rob and I were chatting, and I was telling him that I was watching several of his videos today, and I see Clyde's mentioning the puzzle drum. And if you haven't seen Rob Schuster's videos, you need to go check out his channel. His channel name is Rob Schuster, and go check out. I need to have him back on the show just as a special guest to talk about his drum thing, because I know I watched that video yesterday where he's showing his machine, the rotary machine that he uses to make those, and then I watched it again today. And then after that, I started watching, all the different drum ones, and he's got several of them on there. But it's just, you talk about CNC porn. That's it right there. Watching that stuff. That one I probably could sit and watch. I never watched the other kind, but that I can watch because that's really cool how that works. But I was going to ask you. In fact, I was going to ask you yesterday during the coffee sessions, and I didn't see you pop in. But when you do those drum shells, I know you do the outside and then you switch and do the inside. What is the final wall thickness or thereabout? I guess you probably don't worry about getting it perfect, but
Yeah, there's no set rule. I wouldn't want to go less than a 1/4 inch. It seems like everyone's 3/8 is pretty common, but between a 1/4 and a half is of course a lot of mine have that a dish, so
right.
it's not consistent. But you don't get too thin because it'll break on you, and you get too thick, it doesn't resonate very well. So
Right.
trying to find that happy medium in there.
Okay. All right.
It's,
Cool.
It's kind of funny. I was making rims. I'm experimenting making rims, and I did a puzzle rim for the puzzle drum. So actually, yeah. Can I share my screen?
Sure. Absolutely.
Share screen.
Oh yeah.
Did some pretty
Look at that.
pictures, but you can see
Yeah, that is awesome.
the puzzle joint there.
Mm-hmm. Super cool.
And of course they're leaning on the puzzle drum that
Right.
Clyde was talking about.
Yeah, it seems like no one wants to buy a drum that doesn't have all the hardware on it. So I guess I need to finish the hardware off and do some hardware for it. So
Yeah.
here I am
that's
talking about sales when I say I don't sell stuff.
yeah. Well, that was another question that I was thinking of as I was watching some of those videos today, because I know you it looks like you use different types of, what are they called, lugs? Like sometimes it's
Right.
like like a half of one for the top, and another one is like a whole thing that
Yeah,
I don't know the terminology. I'm stupid when it comes to that
there's
stuff.
a lot of different names. Usually
But-
it's tube lugs. What I usually go with. That's what I'm trying to do because it's thus on the shell, so I can show the shell off more. But a lot of people use a beer tail, or they call different things. So it's two separate lugs that take a lot more space on the shell. But I'm trying to do mainly the tube lugs.
Mm-hmm. And is that stuff expensive or?
Yeah, it's usually about $200 to do a whole drum for the
Okay.
rims and the lugs and the everything. So $250, and I'm not going expensive. It's like anything. There's people who want this special snare throw off that's $150 each one, and all it does is loosen the snares and tighten the snares. I can't justify where I can buy a good one for $30 and they want this special brand, and if they want to pay it, I guess that's fine. But I would never pay for that. But you know me, I'm cheap. I have the shoestring router, so shoestring CNC.
Well, I wasn't going to call you cheap. Frugal maybe, but not cheap. Not cheap. All right, let's hit a
Do
couple
you
of
see
questions.
what I'm cutting these things on? I'm not buying those.
All right, Mr. Baker here says, I have a question on grounding. Do you typically tie your V minus or common on DC switching supplies to cabinet ground that leads to earth ground, or do you let them float? I'm not enough of a electronic guy to even fully understand that question. I think I know how I wire mine and they work. So I have, because he's talking about on the DC switching, the power supplies. So I don't have any ground going from the power supply to anything other than the plug, the earth ground that's on the plug. And just so happens I have one right here. But like right here, you've got your line, your neutral over here on this corner, and then line, neutral, and then the ground. And then that's wired into the plug. And I'm assuming that's what you're talking about when you say DC switching supplies. And so that's where my ground goes, right there with the wire and the plug. I use a 3-wire. Does anybody else want to comment on that? Or
No, I'd hate to give somebody bad advice with electrical stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Jerry Brown has already said in the chat what to do with them.
Okay. Let me see if I can go find his.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah. Tie them to the power supply.
And to the drivers after that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I just use it, and I don't have one of those in here, but I always buy those little terminal strips, and that's how I create a ground. It's almost like a what do you call it? Drawing a blank. Anyway, where you tie a bunch of, you tie your ground in there, and you put those little loop things so that the whole thing becomes a ground.
Daisy chain, maybe? I don't know what the right name is. But
Like one of these?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. But that's what I use to ground everything. I just tie them all together using that.
Mm-hmm.
But for the power supplies, I don't have anything. I don't have a separate ground running from the power supply to that. Now he was talking about. Yeah, I guess I do, because he was talking about the. Yeah, Dave, read the stupid question here. B minus. So yeah, that would go to one of those things like Russ just showed. Yeah, I'm thinking AC. He's talking DC.
Yeah, it's a bus bar, Greg Order said.
Bus bar. That's what
terminal
I was
box.
trying to think of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question here. Clyde wants to know, did you sort out the Z-axis Rob?
are we talking about that video I did a few weeks ago on the dust shoe causing tooling marks?
I would assume that's what he's talking about.
Because I actually put out another video a day or two ago, kind of a follow-up on that one. And honestly, I put some time into it. I actually put a, now I'm going to lose the right term, a thrust bearing on that just to see if that would help. And it didn't help. But I measured in the video, I put a kitchen scale down, and I actually then had the dust shoe press against it, just the bristles. And I got almost 10 pounds of force on that dust shoe, which it's a bad dust shoe. And so you think about it, if you suddenly add 10 pounds weight to the end of your gantry or at your router and then lift it off and on again, unless you've got a really stout machine, I think 10 pounds is going to give you some tooling marks. So that's, and in that video, I on purpose stacked the deck against my machine. I did an 80% step over. I ran at 150 inches a minute. I put like the shortest bit I had, the longest bristles I had, and it. Yeah. So everyone thinks I've got having these problems. I don't. I know. I understand my machine. I just on purpose I wanted to make it look bad to see if a dust shoe could really do that. And I was surprised how bad a dust shoe could make it. I'm looking at the wrong dust shoe.
I noticed when I saw the first video, because I was thinking, and I don't know if y'all remember this, but I did a just kind of a pop-up live stream from my shop making a new dust shoe for my Avid, because I was using those same bristles that you had on that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that live stream, but those things they're too thick and they're too stiff. And I switched and made a new bottom part of the dust shoe and used the McMaster Car 3-inch brush stuff, and it's real thin. I mean, those things just glide right over a knob where I have my clamp, and there's never any problem. But that's, yeah, when I saw that first video and you saw that, I'm like, yeah, he's using that stuff because I used the McMaster stuff on my Gatton CNC, but then when I got ready to build the first dust shoe for my Avid, for some reason I bought that stuff on Amazon, and it was that thick stuff, and then I ended up having to replace it. So
I got it on Amazon too, and yeah, I know it's not right, but I've got a special dust shoe for short things. It's got that old vinyl, that clear vinyl, and when it's only an inch tall, it doesn't flex in like we get those long. It bends in, and the air suction ruins it, but for a short, only an inch long, they work fine. So I only use that dust shoe when I use a 3-inch bit, the long 1/4-inch bit when I'm cutting something deep. And it's not an issue, but just for the video I did it. So
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. All right. I guess that was all the questions we have. I'm looking through over here. Oh, I'm way behind here scrolling down. JR, you cracks me up.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I wasn't going to say anything, but
Yeah.
We weren't gonna make
Yeah.
it political, but it was funny.
yes.
Yeah. That was a good one. All right. So, what else are we going to talk about? We've already covered the what we all use our machines for.
You have another question out there,
Oh, do we?
Mr. Baker. He still
Okay.
is not clear.
Okay, let's see. So is everybody saying the DC negative is tied to the same place on the AC ground?
Further up in the chat, Jerry Brown was saying that the V negative goes to power. On there, up there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see that? I'm pretty sure that's. I've got my little right back here on the floor. I've got my little demo board that I use,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I've always done it. I take all the, or is it the plus or the negative? I can't remember. But the loop, I put that little loop on all the drivers and tie one of them together. I can't remember right offhand which one it is. But I believe it's like Larry said, or Jerry. V negative on the driver goes to power, and then the V plus I think goes to ground. Is how I've got mine. Let's see. Anything else we've got over here? Okay, 3D Buckeye wants to know what CNC machine do you use?
I have two. My original one, it started out life as a Gatton shoestring, but I've changed it so much over time. I like to pretend I'm an inventor and tweak things. I'm always messing with it, and it's just my own now. I guess the bed still and the side rails are still from the original shoestring design, but everything else I've redone myself, just because I like farting around and doing stuff like that. And then the rotary one is 100% my design. It's the only one I know
Yeah,
about.
that's why I was going to say. You said, "Oh, I like to pretend I'm an inventor." I mean, you are. Look at that. Look at that rotary thing. I'm still amazed by that thing. Like I said, I watched that video yesterday and watched it again today, and then I thought, well, okay, now I got to watch it running some more. So I started watching all the drum videos, and it's just amazing to watch. I mean,
And I've tweaked
the
it
way
since
you
then.
thought all that out, because I mean, you think about it, folks, and again, you need to go over to Rob's channel and check those videos out, because part of the time, when it's on the outside, it's just on those roller things, but then he has to stick the inside of the drum around the gantry. So it was pretty ingenious, I thought, the way you made all that small enough to fit in there to do the smallest drum that you're going to do.
Yeah, I say I've tweaked it quite a bit since that original video. The drive gear was I can only find XL belts that I could afford back then, and they're pretty thin. They're like 3/8 of an inch wide, and I had a hard time. Well, the belts aren't expensive, but the stupid the pulleys, the timing pulleys, were crazy expensive to get a big one. And somebody suggested, "Well, you've got a CNC, cut your own." And when he first said that, I thought he's crazy, and I thought, well, I can do that. So I cut my own pulley for that, and it works great. So I've got a big pulley to get the gearing down to really get better definition. So
what?
Go ahead, Russ.
I just said, so he no longer has a Gatton. He's got a Schuster.
Yeah, pretty much.
He no longer got a shoestring. He got a Schuster.
I like it.
Now, did you have a lot of trouble figuring out the steps for all of that? Because I know you run Linux, so it's different. Probably.
It's not bad. It's very similar. I mean, I don't have a screen here, but no, it asks you the gearing, and it's. I think I'm 9-to-1 now for the from the little pulley to the big pulley, and that's all you put in is 9-to-1, and you have to put in how many steps for rotation on the and micro steps for the stepper motor, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you had to really nail it though, because when you're putting those lug holes,
I know.
and I mean, it has to be dead on, and so it has to know that exact rotation to do that, and it looks like you got it nailed down perfect.
Yeah. No, when I first built it, it wasn't perfect, but like I said, I'm always tinkering and playing with it and getting it right, and I'm pretty happy with it now. That's the problem, I guess. People want it to work the first time and they give up, and that's I'm kind of like a dog with a bone here. I won't give up till I get it right. So
Yeah, and another thing, I hate to keep hogging the conversation about your rotary thing, but I got so many questions after watching that video today. I guess for that particular design of a machine, you really don't need a lot of Z travel. What do you have? Just a couple of inches there, maybe?
I'm going to say between 3 and 4.
Okay.
I don't know. But like, yeah, you can raise the.
Well, it looks like you had about that much, about 3 or 4 inches of Acme screw sticking out. But I don't know if you would ever even use more than more than an inch, I guess, because
yeah, the rotate. The part that rotates is the threaded rod, and I can actually raise that up and down, plus the Z gantry, the Z step. Sorry, there's some noise going on over here.
Okay. All right.
But
thank y'all for the super chats. Y'all are hitting them up over there. I appreciate you. JR and Clyde hit us up with one, as well as Mark. I appreciate that. Yeah, Mark got a comment here. He says that drum machine is genius. I'm surprised no manufacturers have contacted you about it. Well, I was just telling Rob before the thing that, because like I said, I've been kind of sitting around watching those videos today, and I'm like, I can't believe they don't have a lot more views than what they do. It's just that's just a hidden treasure, I guess. But yesterday, after I watched your the first video about your machine where you're describing it and all that, you know how YouTube is. After you watch that, all of a sudden there'll be drum manufacturers pop up. So I thought, okay, well, let's see if they got some kind of newfangled machine like the Schuster. Nah, they don't do it like that. I mean, they had some pretty nice machines, but they're not doing anything at all like what you are. And then I found one other guy, and I can't remember what his name was. I believe he was in Canada, but he was talking about he made his with 30 staves, so he used like a 6 degree, because the video that popped up was him making a fixture so that he could cut his 6 degree pieces, consistently with his table saw. But he wasn't doing any CNC with any of his. And I kept waiting to see, how he was going to do the outside and the inside and all. And I never did see that. So, but his
I don't
YouTube
know if anybody
channel is something drums. I can't remember what it's called. But I'm like, well, I know he must make them, but
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else with a rotary CNC like mine that they're doing it that way. And again, to do a 3D design on a drum takes 15 hours probably to go wrap around a whole drum. It's 45 inches to wrap around a drum. You get a 3D cut that's that long on the 16th end mill or tapered bit. So it's not practical for a big manufacturer to do it that way.
Yeah.
Just like Russ was saying about making 3D stuff. It's fun to make. I love doing it. But if you're planning on making a lot of money making 3D stuff.
So Rob, I haven't seen that video yet. How is your rotary set up? Is it kind of Like, do you have like a horizontal mill where your table's spinning this way, or do you have your
No,
drum?
no.
On
The
side?
drum rotate. Oh, let's see. The drum rotates this way. I've got a threaded rod down the middle, and I got two MDF sheets that clamp on the side of the drum, and then just if I can get the video right here, the drum just rotates that way, and the bit's there, so it's going around and
Okay.
whatnot.
I got the
Nice.
video right here.
And you'll get a strike if you put it up, won't you?
Well, I could show bits and pieces.
Yeah, I guess it's not running. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got the sound muted, so there won't be any sound. But yeah, let me share it here.
But a lot of
Because it's kind of hard to describe. You almost have to see it. But this is Rob pulling it out here. And you see he's set off. He's got the electronics all on a separate thing, which I thought was cool. He just kind of
Are
sets
those
that
all your
off.
drivers, Rob?
yeah, yep.
Nice.
Power supply driver. I've added a few more in there. I've got some I got the power for the two power supplies, not power supplies. What I'm trying to think of. But it uses that to turn the power on to the drivers and the power on to the rotary to the router.
Relays and stuff you're talking
Yeah,
about?
relays. Yeah.
Mhm.
Why couldn't think of the word relay? Man,
I
I'm
don't
getting
know,
old.
man.
Man,
Nice.
y'all guys are killing it tonight. Hold on here. Let me thank some folks here. Thank you, Mike.
Oh wow.
Appreciate the super
look at
chat.
that.
And also, while I see you're here, did you get the Mike was the winner of the 3D printing stuff the other week. So just checking to see if you got that. Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate you. And Mr. Brown. Thank you, Jerry. What does he say? The Gatton has upped my wood shop last project is proof. Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Thank you so
Super
much,
cool.
guys. I appreciate it. And we'll get back to the. See, there's what's I think is the really cool part. You notice how low everything is. It's so that the drum will fit around that thing. It's pretty compact there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you'll see that here and see this is what I was talking about when you look at the lead screw that's hanging out. There's not a lot of lead screw
Wow.
hanging out of that thing.
Yeah, see that stepper pulley there. That's now one I made myself. I cut one that's much bigger than that to get a better ratio because the gearing wasn't good enough on that one. I couldn't. There was too much slop. But now with the big stepper or new time pulley, it's much better.
Yeah, I'm trying not to show too much of this so they don't get me for copyright strike. But yeah, and then he's. I think at the end you show it actually turning.
I think I did. I don't remember that's what, a year and a half old now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's August 2019.
Oh, much more than that.
But yeah,
Yeah, there
here
it
he
is.
is doing the inside. The
Yeah, that's
outside's already
so
been
awesome.
done, and he's. I mean, it's just a work of art, man. I love it.
That's a creative individual, folks.
I tell you, Rob. I've been playing around with that Design Spark software, and then as I watch that today, it's like I'd love to build one of those things, but that's the last thing in the world I need because I know I'm not going to make any drums. But it's just when I see your machine, it's like it makes me want to build one. It's just really cool.
That is cool.
And like I said, y'all should be sure to go over to his channel and check out the full video, and especially all the other ones with the drums because they are freaking gorgeous. I can't even decide which one's my favorite because I like the one with the snake on it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the one with the dragon on it, and of course the puzzle one's awesome. You just have so many that are just really nice.
And my last one, I tried a different joinery. I might have sent you the picture of that joint that I was trying to do, much more complex than the puzzle joint, but the joint worked, but it didn't line up well. So that drum is it will be in the fire pit someday. It didn't work. That's a problem being an inventor. Sometimes the inventions don't work.
That what Jerry's referring to when he says throw 100 in the trash?
Pretty much.
All right.
That is really neat, though. I like
What
it.
is this that says, "Hey, Mike was thinking about"?
That's me.
Oh, okay, yeah. Watched a make something video. He had a link for a Micro Center for an Ender for $99. Okay, yeah. So Mike hadn't. He was the winner of that stuff last week, but he hadn't, as of yet, bought an Ender 3, I guess. But they're great little machines. I love mine. It's been doing really nice. And I'll be doing a video. I probably told y'all, I think, last week, or sometimes I can't remember if I've told y'all folks or the coffee session folks. But anyway, I got sent a Creality Touch, which is like the BL Touch, which is the auto leveling thing. So I got to get that installed. So I'll be doing a video on that sometime whenever I get time to do that. I don't know how long that'll take, but it shouldn't take too long, I guess.
I'll be interested in seeing how they connect inside there because of how we had to do when I had a BL Touch on mine. You had to go in there and do some surgery. So I'm wondering if Creality made it simpler to.
It better be simple if they want me to do one, because I don't know much about those things anyway. And there's already a couple of videos out of people, because it's not like this thing is brand new. And I watched one, and it looks like, you have to do some stuff with the firmware, but
Yeah.
I guess you just go to Creality's website and get it. It's not that big a deal. And he just showed you where you plug it in to a spot that's already on the board. If you've got one of the right boards, which I assume I do. I'll know when I look at it. But all right,
Yeah, when you
Mark's
do,
got a question here
I
for
want
Rob.
to talk to you about it because it'll be interesting to compare how I had to do it on mine to be compared to what the new way is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mark
I
says,
have no idea what he's talking about.
"Is there an MC
Escher.
Escher tessellated drum coming next?" I don't know what that is either. So
I got no idea.
we'll have that. We're gonna have to Google that, Mark.
Google, yeah.
Table that discussion
Somebody
later, Mark.
Google that and find out what that is. Oh, Mike said he's been busy with his wife in the hospital. I hope she gets better. Oh, okay. It's the lizard tiles. Yeah. Have you seen those things where they all the same but they interlock? And people actually do that in their house. I get tired of looking at it after a while, but some people put it on there.
Oh, man.
JR wants to know, Cody, is there a way to get notified when the Groovy V-Bit is back in stock?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking, JR. So if you go to my website and you actually click on the Groovy Jenny, it'll open up the page, and then right there's a button you can click where you can request to get a notification. And so what'll happen is as soon as I update my website with stock, it'll send out an automated notification if you sign up for it. So there's a lot of people who get online, they're like, hey, I missed the pre-order sale because I'm not on Facebook very often. And so I just try to point people to that, so that way they'll get an email directly from my website. That's probably the easiest way to go about it.
Yeah, that's what he's asking here, I think. Is there a way to get, sign up on the waiting list or something?
Yeah. So it's not like a specific waiting list, but it is a way to know the moment I put them in stock. So it's a good way to get notified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, jump on it quick because they don't stay there long, right?
Yeah, good stuff usually doesn't.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Yep. Cadence Manufacturing and Design. Get on
Yep,
it.
that's
Doing
the
it right now
place right
myself.
there. That is the place. Well, guys and gals, I'm going to say gals, but I don't know if we've got any of them out there. We'll have some next week, though. We've been on here a little over an hour. If anybody's got any other questions for any of the gang here tonight, get them in there. And let me remind folks that might not have heard me earlier in the show when I mentioned it, but the hashtag to put in for the giveaway tonight is hashtag downtown, and it will be one of these beauties right here, Downtown Jenny. So get it in. We've already got, as of right now, about 45 entries in right now for that thing. So
Jerry asked a question, where's my kiosk? I said, well, I've got it here at my shop. I'll be glad to make a trip.
I've got one here. I'll give somebody if they want to come get it.
You got a long way to go to get that one.
I don't even use mine anymore. Now I would take the computer out of it because it's got all my files and stuff, but I stopped using it. It had that touch screen in it, and it works, but it keeps going out of calibration. In other words, when you go to touch it, like if you're trying to hit, say, the reset button, and you know how big the reset button is in Mach 3, you got to hit, like, you got to learn where to hit, like either above it or beside it or whatever, because if you hit right on it, it may work, it may not.
Oh, man.
And I got tired of having to go through and recalibrate it, and I thought, this is silly. I got other computers to use, so I just pushed it over. It's sitting over in the corner in the shop, so if anybody wants it, you can come get it. I'll help you load it up and get it out of here. I did put it on casters, though. They didn't come on casters, but I bought casters for mine. It's not that hard to move around. All right, I don't see any other questions, so I guess we'll get ready to do the drawing. Thank y'all again for these super chats, man. Y'all tearing it up tonight. Look at you. Mark, JR, Clyde,
super cool.
Mike, Raymond. Dang, I'm going to have to get on Amazon and go shopping now. Look at all that. Thank y'all so much. All right, let's get ready to do this here. I'll leave that on there for just another minute or two, and we'll get ready to draw this sucker. Have we got anybody while we're waiting? Now, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes while we're waiting. Is there anybody out there that's watching tonight that is the first time watching this show? Just curious. I mean, I recognize most of the names, but there are a few names out there I don't recognize, but that doesn't necessarily mean you haven't been here before, because I don't really pay that much attention to the chat since I got my buddy Wolfman watching stuff for me. Dave Clemens says me. Yeah, I know it's your first time here, Dave. Yeah, Jerry Brown's out there. I need to get him to come on the show too and show off his newfangled. He's done a lot of work in his shop, setting it up like a studio. He's got all kinds of camera angles and stuff now. I was watching him. What was he doing? Turning some pins or something the other day. And he had all kinds of fancy camera angles. And
He must have about 20 cameras out there.
yeah.
You had a question, though. Faxoli?
Yeah.
Any probe recommendations?
A chunk of aluminum.
Yeah.
So, okay, probe recommendations. Yeah, they're all, they're all good. Bill Griggs makes one. I'm trying to think. His is the triple edge finder, I think, isn't it?
I have that, and I
Yeah.
can't
Is
look
it
it up.
okay? That one. Of course, you can get one from Avid. I got one when I bought my Avid. There's a lot of them out there, and they all basically work the same. Um, and with a probe, it either works or it don't. But you always want to touch it to make sure, touch it to the bit to check before you make sure you got a connection there before you hit that button. Because like mine with the Avid, it is on a spring thing, but I don't know how far you could let it go down for it do some damage. But it does give you an extra second to hit the what button. But okay. All right, well we're gonna hit this thing. We got 51 entries, so good luck to everybody. This is for the Downtown Jenny Bet by Cadence Manufacturing. So here we go.
Oh wow.
Denny Dawkin. He might be a first time watcher.
It might be a first timer. I don't recognize the name.
I don't recognize that name. Congratulations, Denny.
Yeah,
congrats. You are the winner of tonight's giveaway on the Downtown Jenny. And if you would, just let me get this up here. Go contact Cody at Cadence Manufacturing, www.cadencemfgdesign.com. Just hit him up and give him your shipping information and stuff, and he will get it to you. All righty. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? Anything you want to plug? You got something going on?
I
Anybody?
think they spelt his name wrong. It's supposed to be an Rusty. Me. Instead of Denny, it's supposed to be Rusty.
Yeah. All right. Here
Dang
we go.
Congrats.
So Greg had a question for me. Did I get home with my lumber? Yes, I did.
Mark mode.
Those 6x6x12s are heavy. Holy cow. Oh, I think I got about 7 hernias from picking those things up.
Is it
Yeah, they're heavy.
pressure treated or just regular stuff?
Yeah, they were
Oh,
pressure
they're really
treated
heavy.
once.
Yeah, they usually, I don't know how they are in Maryland, but when you get pressure treated lumber here, it's still dripping wet when you pick it up.
It's for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's really heavy.
Yeah, so we
I'm glad you made it. I hope you got it locked up. You post that picture on Facebook. I wouldn't have wanted to post that picture.
I got German Shepherds. Come and take it.
Yeah. You better have them on high alert because,
Yeah.
yeah.
They see people coming, half a mile away. They start barking at them. But yeah, so big news is we've got lumber and metal now for the building. So working on walls. I was out there this afternoon, starting to put up some sticks to get the girts up start getting walls on that thing.
Awesome. You going to try to video any of it or just get it done?
Yeah, I'm going to try. I mean, whether I actually make a video of it, but I'll probably film something.
Yeah.
Me falling
Jerry
off a ladder.
has one of these kind of probes. Like I say, they're all pretty much the same. They, shape may differ just a little bit, but they all pretty much work the same.
You know what aggravated me is I've got the Bill Griggs one, the triple edge finder, but when I went to get the screen set for Mach 3 from Big Tex, he no longer had it, and oh man! So I asked Mark Lindsay, could I use the stuff from his that he used off of there, and he said you could, but it looks for other things that it's not in. Oh, I said, geez, so I'm still sitting with a block of aluminum that I ain't even using yet. So,
Yeah.
And those
I'm
things
going
aren't
to.
cheap either, are they, Russ?
No, they weren't that cheap, but I've had it for a couple of years now. It's just been sitting there inside that kiosk that I'm not using.
Okay, now tell me what it is that's special about it that you have to have the blue text to run
Well,
it.
the blue text screen set from Mark III had a write up on there for that particular one for the triple edge finder. It went down. It did the Z first, and then it backed off into the XY, the hole.
Yeah,
And
but
then
I mean
touched it did it all automatically.
that's just the script that does that though.
Yeah,
Because
well,
I
that's
use
what I
Mach
asked.
3 with the Avid, and it's the script that's in that Auto Tool 0 button that's going
Right.
to make it do it. It's
That's why I asked Mark if that would work, and he said it looks for other things. So that were specific to that screen set, I think.
okay.
And
Well,
Mark's answered it.
okay. Well, I would think that you would be able to get any, like go to I guess it's free, I think. I don't know. If you went to like the Avid website and got their script for the thing, because I mean, it's nothing special. It's just
Right.
a set of instructions that you put into that thing, and it doesn't really matter what screen set you've got, because all you're doing is hitting that auto tool or auto zero tool or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then
Well, no, I have that one. I know I got it from you a long time ago, but I still have it on there, but I haven't used it yet. I didn't know if it was. When I got that from you, I think I was still looking for the other screen set, and when it got, I got all discombobulated when he stopped offering it. And I said, "God dang it! I'm just getting ready to go use it. It's gone."
yeah. It's funny though, because I've got that one with my Avid that does the X, Y, and the Z,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never used it for anything but the Z.
Oh, really?
That's all I've.
Okay.
You'd have to add a button on the screen.
I think he's talking about the one that Bill Griggs might be
Oh, okay.
pushing, saying to use, and then you have to do the extra stuff to put the buttons in and add the script.
Okay. Well, I know mine. I don't know if I don't think I could show it in here without messing things up. But mine, when you hit the thing, it pops up, and I like I said, all I ever use is the Z, so I always just hit OK. But it has a thing that in the script. It makes something pop up where if you want to do all of them, you just
Right.
select which ones you want to do,
Yeah.
and then it proceeds that way. But like I said, it's just a set of instructions.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you don't use the XY, you just use the Z, and that's it.
I never have a reason to for what I run. It's everything I run is in a skeleton,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't need to set something on the corner that precise. I usually set right in the center of the material with I measure and put a mark, and then I eyeball it that first time, and then all the blanks after that,
Right.
I just know where they need to set to be inside that skeleton, and that's all I've ever done.
Okay. I've been eyeballing it ever since I had that thing about 2016.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to get out of here since we give away the bit. I don't see any more questions or anything. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you all for the super chats for sure. And be sure and come back next week. Should see some prettier faces on here. Then, well, of course, me and Ryan will still be here, But other than that, should have a different look to it next week. And I'm looking forward to that because I can't, I mean, I've had a few lady CNCers on here, but it's been a long time. And I've never had a group of them, so I'm really anxious to see, because I bet you they're going to have a lot of different things to say about CNC than a bunch of old guys would.
Is Melinda going to be one of them?
No. I could text her and see if she was. She's not real keen on doing that kind of thing. I don't know. She might. I'll ask her and see.
I know there's a lady named Katie something. I can't remember her last name. She's a CNC lady. She did a little show with Garrett from IDC a while back, and talked about her stuff and stuff. So she'd be a pretty decent one to have. She looked like she knew what she was doing.
Okay.
I don't remember her last name though.
All right. Well, I can't even remember the name of the ones that sent me, but I've got all their information because we're going to be. I'll be doing a little tech check with them, checking because a lot of them haven't done any of this kind of stuff before, so be doing that. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be.
It'll be a great one.
Should be a lot of fun. Anyway, we're going to get out of here then. We're running along like we always do. And thank you, Russ. Don't be a stranger, buddy. Come back anytime.
All right.
Especially if you're wearing that awesome shirt. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate you. And as always, thank you for sponsoring the giveaway.
It's truly my pleasure. I love being a part of this, so thank you.
All right. And Paul, thank you for popping in here again. I appreciate you. You're almost getting to be a regular now.
I am. I'm not going to be here next week though, unless I borrow a wig or something.
Well, I got you here for it.
Well, I guess I'll just start sending you a link every week, and we'll see if you show up. And
that'd be fine. That'd be fine.
And Rob, good talking to you as always. I'd probably maybe talking to you again here real soon, picking your brain about some things. But
anytime.
I need to quit watching your dang videos because then it makes me want to build one of those things. But anyway, all right. Well, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have an awesome Saturday night. Have a great weekend. And if I can hit the right button here, I have to look close because I usually hit the wrong button. All right. I got my eye on it now. All right. Everybody, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see y'all later. Good night, everybody.